So, I've been wondering for a long time, when will we see a new monster class in Monster Hunter? By monster class, I mean Flying Wyvern, Brute Wyvern, Elder Dragon, you know, that kind of stuff. Flying Wyverns are generally 2 legs, 2 wings, big, good at flying, though some of them use forearms for land movement instead, like their wings I mean. And then you also have stuff like a Cantor and Ucanlos, who are kind of weird, but you get the gist. And you also have Elder Dragons, which they don't really follow any sort of body structure or anatomy. They're just creatures that reside out of the ecosystem. They're like insanely powerful. They don't really need to fit any specific anatomy or body structure. They're just like super powerful. It's almost like a title. There are obviously a few more, but let's get to the point. Is there going to be a new one in Wilds, and what is it going to be? So, as I was making this video, the 5th trailer came out, and we got to see this thing, known as the Black Flame. Looks pretty cool. Which could easily be a new monster class, but as of right now, this hasn't been confirmed. It is considered the apex of the 3rd locale, so it could be an Elder Dragon, but I assume all the apexes will be fought in low rank, and I believe the general formula nowadays is to save the Elder Dragons for high rank. So this is a good time to introduce a new monster class. So they could introduce a Cephalopod monster class with this new monster. Now, I don't think you need to move stuff like Nakarkos and Yamasukami to it, as I think they're powerful enough to be an Elder Dragon anyway. But then again, you have stuff like Rajang and Deviljo, who beat up Elder Dragons but aren't considered one. Man, monster classification is just truly weird at times. I guess like Rajang and Deviljo fit their classes because of their body structure, but yeah, it can be a bit funky. But one thing I have been wondering, with a lot of the Neuromonster designs having a very different feel to them, I wonder if we could get some sort of like alien wyvern class? I don't know how to word it, but I think something very alien to us could be a cool class. Maybe a thing like Xenojiva could have been a good start for this, but I think Xeno had the power to be an Elder Dragon anyway. I actually had an idea before where imagine we had monsters who weren't originally on the planet and arrived through meteorites. It's not something we've seen in Monster Hunter before as far as I know, so the potential for that idea is there. But they'd have to write it to fit the game's universe without seeming too out of place, which I think would be the main problem with making an alien monster class. Yo, Xenomorph Wyvern! Nah, but for real, I think you could represent this alien wyvern class idea many different ways. An exoskeleton might be a good start, kind of like Xenomorphs, as, you know, Xenomorph Wyvern like we just said. But to be honest, you could use lots of different features the Xenomorph has, like the skin or chitin, whatever it is. A different coloured blood could spit out from the monster as you attack it, to sort of imply that it isn't from this world maybe. Or at least, you'd probably have to make the blood colour something very different from the norm. You could also do some sort of weird anatomy, but it really depends on how it's done, because it has to fit in the general theme of Monster Hunter monsters, where the game, it somewhat has like a fantastical element to it, but the monsters are believable even if they do seem like fantasy. But yeah, alien wyvern slash monster class, yeah. What about a plant monster class? Well, it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't have to be like plant wyvern, but a plant monster class, plant beast. Or, yo, I don't know, just think planty. There's already a fuck ton of deadly plants that exist in real life. And I mean, it's like applying to all creatures. Like, you know, Venus flytrap, everyone knows what that is. Clear example to predate lots of insects. So, why not a plant monster? I guess the only problem with that is it could be weird trying to make a plant monster seem believable. Especially since it probably wouldn't move about much. Maybe if you make the plant move something like a snake. Like, you could have it coil around stuff, or like, you can compare it to like a vine, I don't know, but I guess this one is a bit of a reach. It could be hard to make seem real. I suppose you could do like, you do a monster, a beast, a creature, you know, wyvern, whatever, and they could have like plant parts or appendages like Sceptile from Pokemon, you know what I mean? What about a parasite monster class? Think like Gormagala but not. And Gore is a bit different. But yeah, like maybe a parasite which we could see take over other monsters at times and affect their moves and behavior. And then like we knock it off the monster and fight it by itself. I think you can make an interesting monster out of that. You can maybe make a parasite monster for each monster class that exists. It would probably be a decent way to fill up a roster of a parasite monster class, right? Like, imagine an intro to a parasite monster being kind of similar to the Kurapeko Devujo quest, where you're fighting, let's say, a Rathalos, and then all of a sudden, you see a weird parasitic monster come in and latch itself onto the Rathalos. You seem kind of confused, but then the Rathalos gets like a whole new move and attack patterns, and you knock the Rathalos down, and the parasite falls off it. And yeah, you just start beating up on the parasite. Maybe like Rathalos, he just flies away, and you just fight the parasite then. I don't know, I think it's kind of neat. It might be a bit hard to pull off, but I think the idea is there. What if you made like a worm monster class? Like, you have Leviathan, and you have Snake Wyvern, and I feel like they're kind of similar, so let's, you know, why not add worm monster? Worm Wyvern, you know what I mean? Nah, that's a bit of a weird one. What about something like Armored Beast? Like, you have Fanged Beast, right? So why not make something called like Armored Beast? I'm gonna be real. This could be really obnoxious gameplay wise, but like, imagine sharp weapons were just bad against it. Like, you had to use blunt weapons, and maybe like you could barely knock it down or stagger it. Yeah, there's probably a reason that doesn't exist, but like, yeah, it's just an idea, you know. You can let the gameplay designers feel how they want to make that one. But Armored Beast, Armored Wyvern, I don't know. The idea is there. Random thought, but I wonder if they'll do anything more with that Relict monster class. It was the one used for Leshen and Ancient Leshen in the Witcher crossover, and yeah, it's just kind of got those two. I wonder if they, like, literally they're just going to use that for crossover monsters. Fair, I say that, but they still need to fill out Snake Wyvern. Like, Snake Wyvern is way more Monster Hunter than Relics. I guess, like, if they, to be fair, it's like, they don't need to, let's say they made a class called, like, Great Worm or something, right? Like a new monster class, Great Worm. It could literally just be, like, a giant reptile. It doesn't need to fit like a certain body structure of, let's say, a fanged wyvern, right? I don't know. There's like, it's kind of hard to make a monster class without feeling like too much another monster class, unless it's something completely different. Like, if they did the cephalopod idea, that is something completely different. Maybe you could argue it's a Piscine wyvern, but I don't think it is. I think it's completely different. Like, I don't see Gyarados and then I see that black flame thing and think, yeah, they're the same. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess Cephalopod is like all the tentacles anyway, right? But you know what I mean. But yeah, I think it's about time we receive some sort of new monster class in the game. Like, I mean, if you don't count Relicts, when was the last one? What was it? Snake Wyvern? I'm not fully sure, but it has been some time. So I think with Wilds, they should just bring a new one in. If you guys enjoyed the video, I greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. It motivates me a lot to continue. Also, let me know in the comments what kind of monster class you'd want to see in the game. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We are slowly getting closer to the Wilds release date. So until then, stay safe, survive, and I'll see you next time.